All right, we are back out here at the drone park. Have Pranav here with us, the lead developer of the Developer Micro. Going to walk over to it and show off a couple of the changes where we have the FPV camera that was installed last time, but now we actually have it up and running. So you'll see the video feed from this FPV camera. It's a Caddx FPV. Is this the Walksnail Avatar? Does that sound right to you? Okay. Yeah. And then we're also using the Walksnail Avatar system on the receiver side. And there we're using a capture card. I think I have one in my back pocket as well. If you're not familiar with what a capture card is, they're oftentimes used for like game streaming. So you could plug in a camera or a game console into a computer, HDMI to USB. So there's a little bit of latency with the video feed, but that's really the only way we're going to be able to get a video feed when it's not streamed over 4G LTE back into the iVue RC app, being a web application or being within a web browser right now. We also have on the back side the USB-C connector installed. We have the XT30 connector installed. That design's going to have to be updated a little bit ahead of production. And then what we still do not have in yet are the antennas that will be sticking out for the Developer Micro. Those will be coming in next week. And then there's a couple other minor design changes, like having grooves for your fingers to be able to pop up the top cover. The side plates, did we already cover that in the last video? Okay, just as a reminder, the side plates have been updated, so now you installed those from the inside so they sit flush with the fuselage. And then while you can't see it, the video transmitter for this FPV camera is actually just tucked up above the battery, where you could also install it underneath. There's just enough clearance without having to use a special or extended landing gear. But I think we already have the radio plugged into your computer, so we're good to power the Micro up. The last time we came out and attempted flight, we could not fly because it was not seeing the compass. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Very similar to a problem that we're having with the Developer Mini, with a completely different flight controller and completely different circumstance. All right, just selected add drone, connect to drone, and we're selecting the STM32 COM port, selecting connect, and we are getting the correct voltage as far as a raw readout goes. We're not getting the correct percentage level. We just don't really support the Micro yet, at least properly within the iVue RC app. We don't yet support a product that hasn't even launched yet. I know, we suck. All right. Zooming in a little bit more, we have connection to 8 satellites. Let's try to get a connection to ideally 11, 12 satellites before we take off, but you know, not that we settle around here, but maybe settle for 10. Going ahead and using a PlayStation controller. Sony, if you're watching, you know, shout out. We want to work with you beyond just gimbaled camera modules. We can include a DualSense 5 controller with every Developer, not just Micro, but every Developer model. Wouldn't that be great? Oh my God, Jacob's a sellout to Sony and the Japanese. I thought he was pro-America. Well, Microsoft doesn't even make their controllers. They're made by a Chinese company, so what other choice do we have? All right, we're in loiter flight mode with 12 satellites. We should probably see in QGroundControl if we're getting any error messages, but let's go ahead and get the camera feed set up. If you want to pull that up, I think we're just going to use the camera application that's built into Windows to view the video feed. You could use like OBS or another program, but typically it's, in my experience using this capture card setup, it's just treated as a USB camera. Oh, and we're not powered up yet. So you can just plug this in via a power bank like what we have, using it like a standard wall outlet, but it also comes with a connector, so you can use a LiPo battery. In the case of one of our 6-cell batteries, it's now a 5-cell battery. Works perfectly for this case. Going to put this up here. Hopefully you get a little bit better reception. All right, look at that. Let there be video. And if we want to record the video, we just press this play button, I believe, and yeah, it looks like it's recording both on board and on the receiver here. So we're not going to minimize that, but all right, here we go. We're going to go half and half. Ideally, we would go picture in picture, but I'm not going to mess with it too much. Let's see if we could just achieve a takeoff in loiter flight mode, an automated takeoff. I am going to activate the controller just in case I need to take over, or unless Pranav wants to take over. But all right, attempting an arm and takeoff. So automatically adjusted its yaw in flight, but that's pretty standard.
The video isn't going.
The video feed is not going, so that or we're experiencing quite a delay. It looks like it may just not be going. So maybe the video transmitter overheated before we took off, which these video transmitters are very prone to overheating. I'm giving it no input and it's coming down for a landing, is that right? It's in guided flight mode. This developer micro has a mind of its own. All right, I just activated the controller. I just throttled up and that is quite the delay. And I am not providing it any input. All right, putting it into land flight. We're getting the video feed now. So maybe there's something to be said about interference from the video feed. The disarm button is not working as intended. That's great. All right, now the disarm button worked. It's because it was in mid-flight, so it actually was working as intended, just the developer micro, not so much. All right, so it was in guided flight mode. I'm going to try now taking it off quote unquote manually in loiter flight mode. It looks like we still have video feed. So I'm going to try arming and then takeoff. No. Oh, I think I see oh no, I thought the top cover was not positioned properly. Yeah, one motor did come, one boom arm did come undone a little bit. All right. Take 2. Or 3, whatever. Who's keeping count, right? Certainly no one watching. All right, arming again, and I'm going to try a quote unquote manual takeoff. I would say that's a sign of a hardware design issue that we need to address, but all right, we are disarmed. Just wanted to verify before I approach. It wouldn't be the first time this micro's tried to spin up and take me out. So a motor came undone. That will have to be wired back up. Otherwise, very kind of minimal damage. It looks like a standoff kind of got messed up a little bit. That's not too bad, just a little bit of plastic. Landing gear broke, again, not too bad. Well, actually both landing gear legs broke, so. I won't say quite back to the drawing board, but I think there's definitely a little bit more refinement ahead of us beyond what I covered at the beginning of the video. Nonetheless, I think that kind of brings the developer micro flight to an end. Hopefully we'll be able to extract the video and use that within this video, but I'm not entirely sure with that abrupt cutoff there. And I didn't stop the recording here. I just pressed the play button, but I don't know what that's gonna do, so we'll find out. Nonetheless, that's just part one of this video. We also have a developer HP, which I think you might have seen teased in our most recent video that's been published. Actually, now second to most recent video, counting the developer mini HereFlow video that we filmed at the other side of the park here. I'm not gonna power up this HP just yet. I need to get the controller out of the case beforehand. And Pranav, if you don't mind cutting all of this off for the micro, yeah. We'll leave this radio plugged in, and then we'll unplug the controller. Although theoretically we should be able to use that PlayStation controller or the big touchscreen smart controller. I'm about to get out of here. We're still screen recording on your computer, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Because we are not going to be able to screen record on here. I think that, again, there is an Android app that we can sideload onto this to screen record, but for the purposes of this video, ain't nobody got time for that. On the computer, not on here. As I just spoke about it, Brian. Thanks anyway, though. All right, just waiting for this controller to boot up. We might have to format the SD card on the developer HP or within the thermal camera on the developer HP, but want to make sure this is booted up before kicking it on. And then we'll also be trying out a switch that Gerardo set up on our controller, or I guess I should only name his name if it works well. Otherwise, there's just an engineer on the team. If it goes bad, I take the credit. No, I typically take the credit regardless. All right, waiting for video. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go.
Stabilize flight mode.
Take photo failed, so yeah, it looks like I'll have to format the SD card. We'll see if we can do that here from the controller. Let's just hope the micro is the only developer that comes down in the way it did today. This would be a lot more catastrophic of a crash. It won't be the first time one of these developer HP and even a developer HP with the thermal cameras come down though. Oh, so fun. Just waiting for this green line up across the top of the screen to finish going across from left to right. It's about 3/4 of the way through, but of course, again, you can't see that because I don't think there's a built-in screen recording function, and like I said, ain't nobody got time to go sideload an app on here.
Loiter flight mode.
All right, so we can get into loiter flight mode just fine, and I'm curious if we can capture a photo via QGroundControl's UI or record a video. Nope. All right, so closing out of QGroundControl, I think I need to open up the SIYI FPV app. And now you can actually see the thermal as well. Nice. All right. And then, yeah, you see there's a SD card icon that's like grayed out with an exclamation point. Let's see if we can format here. The format button is grayed out. I wonder if it's because I even have the SD card inserted upside down. I don't think so. I think like a lot of the SD card ports, it's a micro SD card. It'll only go in one way. That's what she said. Yep, I think so. We're gonna have to probably format it on the computer. That video transmitter module's pretty toasty. All right, let's unplug from the battery for a moment. Do you have a micro SD card reader built into your computer by chance?
No.
No. Oh man, I hope I didn't drop the ball. Me drop the ball? No, never. Oh, look at that. Sweet. I didn't get a hand on that, you know, if I got a hand on that, I would have caught it. Just what I needed. I needed. Do you know that song? Just what I need. I'm just gonna keep it right here for now. Dun, 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 dun. That didn't feel like it was all the way plugged in, but I guess it was. And upside down. I'm not Pranav Kumar, what the heck? Apparently neither are you, so I don't feel too bad. All right, are we in screen recording anymore? I don't think so. Do you even know how much space you would have on here? Like storage available?
Should be enough for
a screen recording?
Yeah.
Okay. Should be. Uh-oh. There we go. This PC. Yeah, should be. All right. That being said, I don't know if we're still screen recording. We might have lost the screen recording at some point, Brian. And viewers. All of you. Three, two, one. All right, we are recording again. Just disconnecting here in the iVue RC app. And we need to format this SD card. USB drive. It's corrupted or unreadable. Oh, that's great. So we might not be formatting this SD card out here. Let me try via the computer I brought with me. And I can't even see where we're screen recording anymore already. So, I don't know. Hopefully you guys saw the video feed. If not, maybe we can get it from the video receiver directly. If not, such is life. All right. And Yes. Trying to minimize everything everyone can see. Oh my gosh. People know. Do actual work, maybe. Alright, so this one was previously formatted for the ZT6, it looks like. So you would think that it was already set up, ready to go. Alright. I'm doing a quick Google for the format that it needs to be. SIYI ZT6 format SD card. It says FAT32 or exFAT, and it's formatted to FAT32, but let's do a restore. No, I'm kidding. Erase. And we'll do exFAT and see if that works. All right. Let's eject it. Eject it to the limit. I'll push it to the limit. You could actually close your computer if you want, Pranav, and then we'll switch over to mine. It looked like it already did by itself. And okay, looks like it might just ejected. We'll see. Going to insert it back in again, see what it pops up as. Alright, showing exFAT. Eject. Let's give it a shot. iVue world. Oh, I'm not connected to a hotspot. This table's only big enough for one laptop. Dun da da dun da da dun da da da. Kind of doubtful, but we'll see. I know at least on the non-thermal versions of these cameras, really 32 gigabyte SD cards and smaller are recommended, but we have used larger. You just gotta do some tricky work with the formatting, which I may need to do with this one since it is a 64 gigabyte card. Explore now. Dora, 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 the... Oh my god, it looks like we may actually have photo capture. Video capture looks to be working. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. The formatting worked. So we'll get some thermal footage before we take off. Oh, that's the photo button. And let's see, do we have touchscreen control? We have touchscreen control. And now if I flip this switch up, I was told we would no longer have touchscreen control, but we still have touchscreen control. All right. So that's great that we have touchscreen control in either case, but it's not exactly working as I was told it should. So basically there's a switch set up that there's ability to control the camera via touchscreen, and then there's also the ability to control the camera via on-screen controls, which let's actually test out that UI in the iVue RC app. We've only tested this out on a non-thermal camera variant before, so this will be interesting for me to see if it works. I'm gonna connect STM32. I've been screen recording. Maybe I'd need a clap though. All right. Mod kits, camera, gimbal. Let's see. So our camera control does not seem to work, but that's probably because how this is set up with the GPS 2 port, which is serial port 4, and I think we're probably looking for the camera on serial port 2, which would be like the telemetry 2 port in the case of the Pixhawk 6E flight controller that we're using. All right, now we can try, let me try flipping the switch now and seeing if we get gimbal control. Nope. Nope. Okay, so no gimbal control working through the iVue RC app. That's something that we'll want to take a look at and address. And then we can try Mission Planner as well. Let me go back to drones. Disconnect. QGroundControl doesn't really have a UI to support gimbal camera control, at least a good one. I think they have a ability for you to point and click where you want it to point, but that's not very intuitive, and then you can recenter the camera, but that's about it. All right. I think it's this USB modem here. Let's hit connect. All right, and I have the switch in the middle position, more so for our own internal purposes than anyone watching. And I think we will have gimbal control here. Let's see, oh, that's roll we won't have, but we'll have pan, maybe. Nope. What about tilt? Nope. Nope. Oh, it is tilting. The video feed's not updating. So I wonder, were we getting camera control through the iVue RC app this whole time and I just wasn't seeing it? Huh. You didn't happen to tell, did you, Pranav?
No.
All right.
Earlier when you put in inputs, nothing happened, but I didn't see why it's turned now.
Okay, so this is all through Mission Planner, so okay. Mission Planner's UI is working. I'm resetting the position to straight and level, even though it doesn't look straight and level. That's just because the developer HP is not on straight and level ground. All right, I'm disconnecting again here, and now that we're actually getting the video feed as we should, going back to see if our camera control works. Wow, look at that, and our camera control does work as well. So disregard my earlier comments. iVue Robo Control camera operation is possible with this SIYI ZT6 camera, and pretty darn smooth as well. Now, Gerardo, again, the switch that we had set up to go between this sort of Mavlink, as we're calling it, camera control, and then touchscreen camera control, doesn't seem to be having any effect. Both seem to be working even in the off position. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and actually take off in flight. So we'll have the connection in iVue Robo Control just here, but we're actually going to be operating using QGroundControl with this controller. So you have two different ground control softwares connected to this one developer HP at the same time. And I am going to record video. I'm not sure if it's going to be side by side, if it's going to be thermal, or if it's just going to be normal video.
Stabilize flight mode.
I think we're just going to get normal video for this flight test, but that is a-okay.
Loiter flight mode.
All right, I am recording video upon takeoff. Just took a photo as well of our great camera operator. Take another photo as well. Just took a handful or so photos. We'll see if all those pop up. Still have. So actually, when you're connected in QGroundControl, you don't have touchscreen control anymore. Let's see if I switch this up.
Stabilize flight mode.
Okay, we have that switch also set to flight modes,
Loiter flight mode.
but now we have full camera operation again. So let me go back to, I need to wait for QGroundControl to finish connecting here. 3 hours later. Basically, I don't want to flip that switch in mid-flight,
Stabilize flight
and then
mode.
yeah, it switches over to stabilized flight mode. But we might have to wait to
Loiter
do that
flight mode.
until afterwards. So for this flight, we're only going to have touchscreen control of the camera, and we're not going to have, actually, again, let me verify that. Mod kits, camera. So theoretically, if this works, and okay, so the switch that Gerardo set up does work as long as you have your ground control software on the controller connected. So you do have to like switch back and forth if you're in flight using this switch. But let's go ahead, vehicle setup. Yep, we're connected, but not fully. Going to try arming. Actually, I lied. Even though theoretically it would all be fine that it would like spin out the props by itself, it is good habit, good practice, especially when you're not wanting to unnecessarily have to rebuild a drone like this, assuming anything went catastrophically wrong. All right, taking off in loiter flight mode.
KF3IMU1MAG0 ground mag anomaly. Yari aligned.
Don't like that. All right. Somewhat stabilized. Having to fight it a little bit more than I would like. So that's me providing no input. And you can see that there is a little bit of compass induced drifting, if you will. But let's go ahead and see if we can safely get it to land.
Land flight mode.
And let's see, can I do it? All right, a tough landing, but
Disarmed.
all right. So we'll need to do some calibration, not at this field. Just as you can see, it's called like a toilet bowl effect, where there's probably just the battery and some of the other electronics are interfering with the compass's ability to be able to hold a orientation. But that is something that we'll do at the drone park with much more space to work with. So I think that's all we have for you. And you'll see the thermal camera video feed in flight during that video as well. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns in the meantime, feel free to leave them down in the comments section below. If not, thanks for watching. Peace.